I know there's something else you want to talk about, and I know what it is, and I think it's actually a fucking great story because you and I are going to argue about it because we agree with each other. Which, by the way, for the record, I completely agree with you about that Barry Bonds shit. I think both of them should go to jail. I just happen to think Barry Bonds should spend the rest of his life there, but that's because I'm a Dodger fan. I know what you want to talk about. Bring it up. Let's hear it.
Which one? Well, you know what? I think I know. Spider-Man?
No. We'll save Spider-Man for last, because that'll be the rage fest.
All right. Obama.
There you go.
It is the right thing to do. Excuse me, sir. It's not time for questions, sir. Not while I'm speaking. And the answer to your question, sir, and the next time I'd prefer you let me finish my statements before you ask that question, is this is the right thing to do for the American people. Baby, I didn't ask for an argument. I'm answering your question. It is the right thing to do for the American people, and here's why. Here's the reason. My hope is that Congress recognizes that and gets behind this effort. All right? Thank you very much, everybody.
Specifically ruled this out, sir, last year. What about American workers who are unemployed while you import foreigners?
And the fucking, you can't give a speech. I've never seen a president give a speech outside the fucking
in the Rose Garden. In the Rose Garden.
And all the history. You know, the thing is, it's like Republican or Democrat, whatever the fuck ever. No one's ever fucking just went there and disrespected the person, a president. And the thing is, I saw that and I was just
why don't you recap it? Recap it for the people who haven't seen it yet. Recap it for the people who haven't seen it.
Okay, all right. So the thing is, Obama, I think it was Monday. Monday. He came out to give a speech about how he wants to make a change in the deportation of illegal aliens because, Congress won't pass the DREAM Act. They're sitting there talking about, we agree with the DREAM Act, but we're not going to pass it in the Obama administration just so he don't get credit for passing the DREAM Act. So what he wants to do, instead of deporting people under 30 years old, and, with how they've been deporting criminals and everything, illegals, he's going to give them a chance for 2 years leniency before deporting them in hopes to change,
doesn't it specifically apply to people that are about to be enrolled or enrolled in college, I think, as well? I think that... Yeah,
college. It's college, or if you graduated high school, or in the military, or anyone that got brought here with their parents, and they did everything through the school system and everything like that, and they're upstanding citizens and believe that they're Americans. Yeah. And so that's the only thing that he posed. It wasn't changing any laws. It wasn't anything like that. So, of course, a fucking blogger, I'll call him a racist fuck blogger, started asking him questions while he was giving a speech in the Rose Garden about it. Now, first Obama told him, you can't ask questions. But then he turned around and answers, and actually answers his question. And the thing is, it's like, between that and when he was called a liar, giving the State of the Union address, I've never seen a president take so much, hardship giving a speech. And then on top of it, nobody wants to fucking talk about it other than MSNBC. Like, anything ever happened, that's the thing. Like, he's fine, this is just an unfortunate incident.
Yeah.
No, it's a sign of fucking disrespect.
He was interrupted not once but twice during this speech in the Rose Garden. He was asked questions. The guy, his name is David. I think his name is David Muno. He works for the Daily Caller, and the really funny part about that is the guy is not an American citizen. He's here on a green card.
No, I didn't know that. He's not an American citizen.
He's here on a green card. He interrupted him twice. He claims that he thought the president was done speaking, and wanted to get his question in first. But everyone, even Fox News, is like, this guy is a dick. They are just pounding on this guy. They're really climbing on him, as they should. Absolutely. Yeah, and you're right, I've never seen a president get this much disrespect before. and not wound up, being hauled off by guys speaking into their wrist with a thing in their ear and dark fucking sunglasses, man. You're right though, absolutely right. This guy, this reporter, is a douche. Now, Daily Caller, if those of you that don't know, I do believe it's the Daily Caller. Daily Caller is a conservative news site that is run by Tucker Carlson. That's right. The right-wing douchebag with the bow tie. Yeah, that guy. Yeah, Tucker fucking Carlson brought this guy in. And here's the other really funny thing about it. It was an immigration reform discussion, or an immigration reform speech, and they chose not to send an American reporter. It's like, really? So, yeah, everybody's jumping on this. And you're right. The only people still talking about it, by the way, is MSNBC. Because MSNBC does lean left. But for about, I'd say probably a good 6 hours, everybody in the fucking news business was coming out and saying, this was unprofessional, this is completely unprecedented, no one's ever done this before. And I don't believe that gentleman will be returning to the Rose Garden ever again. He's fucking lucky if his ass doesn't wind up in an orange jumpsuit on a plane to Guantanamo. So, yeah, this kind of disrespect for a sitting president is completely unprecedented.
But, and how they put it, and, and of course, without trying to lean too liberal bias because I'm a liberal. But I would say at the same time, it's like how they make it, how it seems like it's a commonplace, like, like talking to him or describe how people describe him and stuff. It's like they don't see him, that's what they say, like they don't see him as being the president of the United States. You know what I'm saying? They see it as a black guy who got the job that this white guy deserved.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
It's like,
and that's how they try.
Affirmative action is what that is. That should have gone to fucking No, it fucking shouldn't have. They're complete disrespect. They don't understand the concept. Remember, back during the Bush years, whenever anybody had anything negative to say about President Bush, a lot of people would chime in and say, look, you can disrespect the man, but you cannot disrespect the office. But that's exactly what's happening here. He's the fucking president of the United States, and he will be at least until January of next year, fuckers. So you're going to have to shut the fuck up. And this is just more of this blatant disregard for the American will, as what it really is. And for as many people as say that Obama is a media darling and that fucking everybody loves him, dude, all the president has to do is fucking sneeze in the wrong direction, man, and people are fucking all over him. He cannot catch a fucking break, man. 26 straight months of private sector job growth. But no, he's fucking weak on jobs, and he's sending our yabs overseas. It's like, no, fuckers, you're not fucking paying attention. The corporations in this country are amassing so much wealth. The corporations in this country right now, major corporations have more money in the bank, more wealth now than they had when Reagan was in office.
I know.
And CEO pay has gone up like 450% over the last 6 years.
And the thing is, it's like, okay, the people, the main thing when I start talking stuff, the main thing people want to say, or Republican, whatever, it's like, no, it's not because of race, it's because of, it's because of we disagree with his policies, which a lot of it is bullshit. But I would say this, okay. All right, you don't agree with his economic ways. All right. You don't generally like him because of his race. Okay. And there's a lot of things where, they changed the law on how much money can get put in from interest groups. They overthrew a 100-year law. They put the man's healthcare bill, the healthcare law, they put that on the Supreme Court to decide where they're going to toss it out. Mm-hmm. You change your voting laws in different states. And all this shit that you're doing to try to make sure that he doesn't get reelected. But, you don't even have the decency. That's why I posted on Facebook. After, later on, I replied to somebody, you don't even have the decency to even give the man credit for killing the one motherfucker that Murphy was wondering who the fuck is gonna kill. You know what I'm saying? I remember you was hot about how Osama bin Laden got put on the sideline, like, what he did was, no one cares now, we're not gonna find him. He found the fucker, he killed the fucker, and they still can't give him credit for that.
Nope.
That's the part that's just amazing to me.
Are we assassinating
there's
people in
nothing in
countries?
between. There's no gray lines where you can't say, okay, well, the economy, blah, blah, blah. Okay, well, healthcare bill, blah, blah, blah. The killing of the fucking number one motherfucking asshole in the world, and you can't give him credit for it.
I love how animated you're getting. Yeah, they won't give the man even the smallest amount of fucking respect. They won't give him even the smallest amount of credit. There is a transportation bill that's in the House right now that is going to create 1.9 million jobs. And the House, the GOP, is actually refusing to pass it because they know it'll look good for the president. They refuse to give him any positive credit. They refuse to give him any recognition. All they want to do is make it worse. And the really funny part is if you go back and you listen to guys like Mitch McConnell and Romney and all of these other candidates, what do they say they want to do? Do they say they want to fix this country? No. Do they say they want to return us to glory? No. What is the thing they all say they want to do?
Make sure that Obama's not elected.
They just want to beat Obama. They don't want to fix this country. They don't want to change things for the better. They don't want to fix the economy. No, they just want to get the black guy out of the office. Just more rich white men trying to kick a black man out of the house.
That's exactly what it comes down to. Get the black guy out of the office at any resort, even if the country tanks and goes down to shit, yeah, because it looks better on us. You know what I mean? It's just like, but there's a lot of dumb motherfuckers out there, besides the average racist person that just hate them because, but there's dumb motherfuckers out there that actually sit there and beyond me. It really is beyond me. That actually believe that they're going to do something for them and will vote for them and then get fired. You know what I'm saying? And that's the whole thing, is that people put all these GOP governors in 2010, lost their jobs, but still go and vote for the GOP candidate. Like, are you fucking really?
It blows my mind when middle-class people vote against their own best interest. It makes no sense.
I know, man, because I know, like, teachers and police officers who'll go still vote Republican, even though the man said that he was to cut the job. You know what I'm saying?
Yep,
like,
yep.
I don't understand. I don't understand what the thinking is. But people do it all the time.
He's a Kenyan. He's a Muslim. You know what he is? He's a fucking dark-skinned guy who wants to save your job and give health care to everyone. No, wait, that was Jesus, you dumb sons of bitches. It blows my mind when people do this shit. And we just saw this in Wisconsin. Where they didn't recall fucking...
I know, I was so
Scott
pissed.
Walker. And there was a union that was backing him. What kind of a fucking crazy shit is that?
I know, man, and that's why I couldn't understand. I sat there and I watched it, and I'm like, yeah, I know. Don't get me wrong. I think the guy that they put up there was more of a John Kerry type.
Tom Barrett.
I see it, right? He looked weak. He sound weak. He was up there talking to MSNBC. And he bored me. All right, I understand. You see him and you don't think automatically, oh, this is the guy I'm going to vote for.
And it's the same guy who ran against Walker when he got elected. So somehow people thought that after 2 years, Barrett would be the guy they want to elect. Now, there is something worth mentioning about that. There was at least a 7% difference in the vote totals from the official vote totals from the exit polling numbers. Now, there are some
for Obama, yeah.
Well, even the votes for Brown or for Scott Walker. So there, I mean, and this is what Wisconsin, where there have been a lot of voting irregularities the last couple of elections, and yet no one's doing anything about it. It's very interesting to me. We'll see, you know, what the long-term effects on this are going to be. But yeah, Scott Walker is a Koch brothers employee, and
I know.
he is
The best part has got to be that fucking phone call. It's got to be when they called him up and he was kissing the fucking shit out of him with a goddamn prank call. That had to be the best shit ever. You know what I'm saying? People will actually sit there, watch it, hear it, and still go vote for him. I mean, it's just like, how can you vote for a person that tells you straight out that they want to cut your fucking job and laughing and joking about it? You know, not only was it the Koch brothers, it was the one where he was talking to the other not the lieutenant governor. Well, maybe it was the lieutenant governor. It was another one where it was a lady. He was saying, "Oh yeah, this is what we're going to do. We're going to cut jobs and blah blah blah," and laughing about it like, you know, fuck this guy. We don't care about him if he has work.
Crazy, man. You know, it's funny. This is I have a union job right now. It's the first time I've ever had a union job. I've been pro union for as long as I've been voting, but this is the first time I've ever been in a union. And I can definitely see why unions are important. Why organized labor is important, especially in certain industries. And before we jump off to the next topic, I want to bring up something. So there was a Supreme Court ruling, I don't know if it was today, but I think it was recently, where these medical reps who genuinely work, usually about 60 hours a week, and these are pharmaceutical sales reps, who go into doctors' offices, and they make their money by getting doctors to buy the stuff and give prescriptions for it. Well, they've been working 60-plus hours a week, and they applied for, they were denied overtime. And so it went to federal court because they said to the courts, look, we're not being paid what we're worth. These guys are overlooking overtime. They're denying it to us. And the return from the pharmaceutical companies was, well, we don't have to pay them. They're not our employees. They're outside contractors. And so this wound up going to the Supreme Court, where it was, of course, voted 5-4 in favor of the pharmaceutical companies. That number 5-4, by the way, is going to be very important because next week when Obamacare, the Affordable Health Care Act, is overturned by the Supreme Court, that'll be the number that's overturned by, 5-4. Yeah. So what happens now is that Congress, the Supreme Court is basically working around Congress. They're saying, no, overtime doesn't apply to these guys. So I think what should happen is I think these pharmaceutical reps should unionize. I think they should unionize, and I think force these fucking giant pharmaceutical companies that make almost as much money as the oil companies do, force them to deal with these employees fairly. You know what? You want to call us outside contractors? Fine. Then you're going to pay us contracting prices. That's the, you know how much I pay a fucking contractor for shit when I have to have them come in? $300 an hour. Okay, you want to call me an outside contractor, and that's what you'll pay me. I think these guys need to unionize. They need to work together, and there are enough of them to where they can make things painful for these pharmaceutical companies. Now the problem is there's not really going to be any incentive to force these pharmaceutical companies to deal with a union unless one other thing happens. These guys have to be backed by the physicians. They have to be backed by doctors. Doctors will have to come forward, like the Physicians Association, things like that, the VA, all these other companies are going to have to come up forward and say, we will not deal with non-union pharmaceutical reps. I think, first off, it'll be great for Americans because you'll have a fair wage being passed off to people. I think also it'll reduce, I think we can work in legislation or work in information that reduces the compensation that these guys get for forcing or for getting doctors to prescribe medication that maybe not is necessary, or maybe get them to look at a generic kind. If we can kind of reduce some of that a little bit, but augment that by increasing hourly and giving them overtime, I think that might actually be a good thing to do.
Yeah, no. Do you think you see it happening, or do you think it's just all?
It depends. It depends on how upset that these pharmaceutical reps get. I think unionizing would be a great thing, and there are plenty of professional work unions out there that'll work with them, and they'll definitely help them get unionized. But like I said, without some sort of it's going to be a carrot and a stick. Without some sort of backing from physicians, there's really nothing that's going to force these pharmaceutical companies to deal with them as a union. Then, with the way the economy is right now, fucking anybody will do anything for $1. Shit, man.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it balances out. So.
Yeah, I know, man. It's retarded to me. Just as retarded to me as rebooting a movie series so soon. You know what I'm saying?
You were gonna bring this up, weren't you? I tried